Welcome to the Movie Epidemic podcast. I'm your host, Buck Hollywood LeDuc, joined as always by Chadley Charles Fox. How you doing today, buddy? You got a framed poster of Chris Pratt behind you, I see.
Oh no, that is not a framed poster. This is my home. I would never put a framed poster of Chris Pratt in my fucking home, Buck LeDuc.
Oh, really? Because it looks like a framed poster behind you.
That is a monitor where I'm displaying one of the films that we'll be talking about today. For anybody watching on the YouTube, this is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is a lot of fun. We'll be talking about that in a little bit.
While we're talking about YouTube, come on over to our new YouTube channel. This is the first episode that's exclusively on that channel. It's a good one, probably. So you're going to have to come subscribe if you're listening on the iTunes.
I haven't heard the podcast yet, but I think I'd wager it's probably going to be a good one. Much like Donald Trump's plan to destroy North Korea, movie Epidemic is locked and loaded, baby.
Absolutely. All hail President Trump.
So today I'm actually I'm on vacation. I'm on a 5-day vacation.
Did you get fired again?
Yeah, no, I didn't. But I'm on a 5-day.
I feel like every time you get fired, you just say that you're on vacation, so that it doesn't seem so shitty.
I've probably gotten fired way more times during like the run of this podcast than people think. Like. So frequent. But anyway, my wife's coming to pick me up to because we're gonna go. She's at work right now, and she's picking me up in 2 hours. We're doing a podcast right now. I haven't done a lick of packing. She's gonna be pissed. It's gonna be fantastic.
That's fine.
So, and as many of you know, I was in a car accident last month, so I've actually had to resort to public transit.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fun, though.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I did not realize how many adventures I would be going on public transit and how many great bits I just encounter, including this one. This might be the funniest thing I've ever fucking seen. I was laughing seriously for like 10 minutes after I saw it. So I'm waiting on the train platform for a northbound train to come and pick me up, and a southbound train rolls up, and people start flowing out of the train. And but there's cops, and they're there to check people's passes as they get off the train. And sure. I'm sitting here, and I'm kind of a cunt, so I'm like, man, I sure hope somebody doesn't have a pass, because I really want to see this go down right now.
It's real good.
Just as I thought this, as if God heard my thoughts and decided to send. Yeah, thank you, bless you, Satan. Satan sent his avatar in couple form. This cracky looking man. Have you ever seen that episode of Breaking Bad where the crack couple try and break into the ATM?
Sure.
Okay, so those people come off the fucking train and and they take a look. They see one look. They see the cops and they're like, whoop, whoop. And so they just come. They come. Not only do they sit on a bench, but they sit directly next to me. So I'm like, okay, first of all, I know where this is going, and second of all, I get front row seats for this. This is fucking fantastic. So they come up to me. They're like, sir, you got a pass? And I'm like, yeah, I got a pass. And, pull out my pass. They go up to them. And the guy's on the phone. He's like, Robert. Yeah, no, we're going to be there, dude. We're going to be there in like 20 minutes, dude. We're going to be there, Robert. And so the police officer turns to the woman, who I assume is like his wife or his girlfriend or something. He's like, do you have a pass, miss? And she's like, she's fucked. Like they're going to do drugs at Robert's house probably, but they've already been doing some drugs. So yeah, they were pre-Cocahana'ing, but she goes, oh, I don't have a ticket yet. He's like, okay, you sir on the phone, sir. And he's like, oh, dude, I gotta call you back. And so he hangs up the phone. And he's like, sir, do you have a pass? And he's like, oh no, we haven't gotten on the train yet. Okay, well, the cop saw him get off the train. I saw him get off the train. We all saw him get off the train. He's like, didn't you just get off and after like a few minutes of this, finally the cop gets it out of him. He's like, oh, okay, yes, I was on the train. You're right, I was on the train. And the cop's like, why are you riding without a ticket? And these two people, like, you could see their brains just going into overdrive. They're trying to figure it out. And as they're looking at each other going like, the woman blurts out, he had a heart attack. He was on a train because he had a heart attack.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy was like, yep, that's what it was. I had a heart attack. And the cop is like, at this point, the cop is like, uh-huh. So the cop is like, all right, look, you guys, I'm going to save you guys a $250 ticket. I'm going to let this slide and let it pass as a warning if you guys go and buy a ticket right now. Because like they were waiting for the northbound train with me. So they're like, okay, yeah, that's fair. And so they go over to the booth, the little computer thing, to buy their ticket. While they're buying their ticket, the train rolls up. I get on it, and the train rolls away without them on it. I was laughing. I'm like, this was at like 10 o'clock at night. So like, that's a 30-minute wait. It's a 30-minute wait. So I laughed for like a straight up like 4 stations after that. Just like, and people were looking at me. They're probably like, man, this is a good pod. There's a guy who laughed on the train for, I swear to God, 15 minutes. I went to there.
That's a lot of fun.
Whew. Yeah, so there was also a guy on a bus that I was on. This one's quick, but there was a guy on a bus last week. He yelled a lot of stuff, but he was yelling around about how his family hates him because he has an IQ of 70. And then he demanded to know where a Staples was. So somebody pointed out where a Staples was, and he said, you can't even get bread and milk from there. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what the fuck this guy's doing.
Well, but, that's a lot of. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun in the big city.
Ooh, I am, dude. I'm glad that I'm a 6 foot, like a 6 foot dude, because crackheads don't scare the shit out of me, and they wouldn't, like, I don't think they would come up to me and like try and mug me or nothing. So I just get to observe.
You also clearly don't have any money, so no one's gonna rob you.
Yeah, that is true, exactly. And so I just sort of get to witness crackheads' lifestyles.
That's one of my big problems. Is I generally walk around town in a full 3-piece suit. So
yeah, and you've typically got like some sort of like gold chain on it somewhere.
and then when people ask me for change, I say, "Oh, sorry, only got hundreds," which is the most dangerous thing you can possibly say.
And you say it loud. You're like, "Sorry, mate, I've only got hundreds."
I've never been rolled too much, a couple times, but people are pussy, so you can just be like, "Oh, what are you gonna do? You gonna fucking kill me for $80? Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, look, I'm not a very strong man, but crackheads have really been like fucked up their bodies with crack, so I think I could probably take them.
Crack seems like a lot of fun.
If worse comes to worse, oh, you got a shiv? That's okay, because I can break your fucking wrists.
Oh, you're gonna stab me with a dull knife? Okay, go for it.
Which pawn shop did you buy that hunting knife, friend?
Buddy, there's cameras like everywhere I walk. It's downtown. I see 3 cameras across the street. What are you fucking doing?
So that's been my experience the past, I don't know, month that I've been living in the big city, running train, dude, and I'm really enjoying it.
Just running train. So what are we talking about movie-wise today this week?
Today, as mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. We're going to be talking about The Thanger, John Carpenter's original The Thanger from, what was that? I want to say like 79, but I think
that's 82.
82, yeah. So 1982, John Carpenter's The Thing. Ooh, if you thought Cronenberg was fucked up, just buckle in. And we're also going to be counting down top 5 Kurt Russell films.
Russell, the boy, big boy.
Ooh, my boy, dude, my boy. I like Kurt Russell's resurgence because I think what's going on with Kurt Russell is what would have happened with Jeff Bridges if he hadn't given up. And we're also going to be talking about Snatched, Amy Schumer. I was going to say Amy Poehler, but that's not right. Although she might be in there. I don't know. But Amy Schumer, Katie Dippold wrote this flick of Ghostbusters fame. So, you know,
great.
It's like that. I'm just glad Amy Schumer actually wasn't in Ghostbusters, you know, because I
wasn't.
Yeah, actually, that was what I was gonna say. Was she in that? Seems like something she was in.
You know, to be honest, I don't recall too much about it, but I do recall there being a lot of pussy jokes in it.
Ooh, yeah, they got slime in their pussy, which seems like something Amy Schumer would do. But anyway, let's talk about Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure.
So, this is the newest Marvel attempt to add to the Avengers mythos. It's directed by James Gunn, same director as the original Guardians of the Galaxy. And all right, here's the thing, is that there are 3 men in this world, and their names are James Gunn, Sam Raimi, and Taika Waititi. And these are the only 3 people in the world who these are the only 3 people in the world who understand one simple fact. Comic books silly as fuck. Books silly as fuck. Don't gotta take them 100% serious, Captain America.
Oh, you don't like grit? What's your problem? Correct, sir.
Oh, I wish Star-Lord had brooded a little bit more in this movie. Fuck. This movie, it's really silly. It's really silly. Now, before we go into it, I want to say, unlike most of Marvel's most recent works, I really like this movie. I was surprised. I really enjoyed this movie a lot.
Yeah, see, I didn't think you were going to even like it even a little bit. So that's pretty shocking all around.
I liked it a lot. I do have, like, it did start out rough. Like, I think that it did start out rough. That first 15 minutes is a tough watch, because in the first 15 minutes, they fight that giant squid monster, which seems like it would be fun, but the CG didn't look finished on that monster. Like, it didn't look like it was quite there. Like, it looked like they were, like, on the second last stage. So it didn't look quite good. And, here is a big problem this movie has. I've been trying to deny this for 3, maybe 4 years now, but I think at this point I can come straight out and say, Chris Pratt, you can't act. You have no inclination on the art, which sucks.
But he's your favorite actor, though.
Oh, dude, it sucks because he can't. Like, I like him a lot in Parks and Rec. He's funny in that show, but like, as soon as he stepped out of that role and started jumping into other stuff.
Well, it is a problem too that he does play like the straight man in all of these movies, where he's not really.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He doesn't do any jokes though. I've never heard him tell a joke. Maybe he's funny. I've never heard a joke come out of his mouth.
I don't know. I think like on Parks and Recreation, I know he did like a lot of little bye little Sebastian. But I do think he's probably funny. I just think like here everything felt like he was reading it from the script. Like it all felt like he was reading it from the script in this one, and that is unfortunate. But thankfully, in this movie, Star-Lord's not that important of a character. Let's be honest for a moment here. He really does. He's not interesting in this movie, and that's okay, because he takes a back seat to all the plethora of actually interesting characters.
Sure. I do think that is a strength of this film. You can tell right out of the gates what kind of this movie is going to be when they have a 15-minute baby dancing Groot scene. And
yeah, like, they know their demographic.
That's what this is. It's not fucking Batman. It's just a dancing tree. And that's going to be most of the jokes, is that it's a baby tree.
Yeah. But here's the thing, is that like I thought that Baby Groot was going to be harped on more in this movie for the concept of marketing. But I'm kind of glad that he kind of wasn't, like he's in it a lot.
They let him ball. He's more like ball droid than anything.
Yeah, they let him ball droid around. He is important to the story, but like the bigger focus on this one, and like call me crazy, but the bigger focus on this one is on Drax, which is great. Which is great because Drax is the heart and soul of this movie. He was kind of funny in the first one. He's fucking hilarious in this one.
Didn't really say anything in the first one. This one, they're like, let's give all the jokes to Dave because he's the only one with comedic timing on this cast. So.
Hey, why is Dave Bautista the funniest person on this cast? Isn't that the craziest thing?
Shouldn't be, right? Shouldn't be.
There's like pretty much any time Drax started laughing at something, I started laughing. Like, just because, like, first of all, Dave Bautista's laugh, I'd watch an entire movie of Dave Bautista just pointing at stuff and laughing at it. But his laugh is like, it's so boisterous and big that you realize that what he's laughing at is actually funny, and the fact that he's laughing at it is funny. And so like for instance, this part's in the trailer, so I'm not giving too much spoilers, but like the part where the Mantis tells everybody that Chris Pratt likes Gamora, and he's like, you just told your biggest secret. I was losing it, dude. Like, I was laughing so hard at that. It's so much fun.
Pretty funny. Drax is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now, I do think they do kind of a weird thing where they split everybody up so much in this. Like, Rocket Raccoon barely even in this film.
Yeah, but like he sort of got a pair up in this one with Yondu, and which, by the way, fuck Michael Rooker. First things first, as always, fuck Michael Rooker. But goddamn, he's awesome in this movie.
Yeah, he's fucking real good as
Yondu. He's so good in this movie. So great as this character, and I actually really.
Yondu.
I really like the idea that they took characters that didn't necessarily have chemistry in the first movie and forced them to have chemistry in the second one. Like Rocket and Yondu, like there's no way they would have, they didn't even have interactions in the first one, really. But in the second one, they sort of like pair up as an unlikely duo, and it works so well. The same way that Drax and Mantis, like you wouldn't think that would be a decent duo, and it works. There's good chemistry there. But that brings me along to the biggest problem this movie has. Gamora and Nebula. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like, because like it's the exact plot you think it's gonna be. It's like Gamora and Nebula are like sisters who are trying to kill each other, and then like in the heat of the moment, right as they're about to kill each other, they're like, we have to stop because we're sisters. And it's like, oh my God, just kill each other. I don't give a shit. Kill Karen Gillan.
It's supposed to be more important than it is. I guess because they're Thanos's children or whatever.
Yeah, and I imagine it's going to come back in like the Avengers Infinity War.
It's one of those things where I feel like that's like, you look at the rest of the setups and you're like, oh, this is all James Gunn. And then you get to this and they're like, oh, someone told James Gunn he had to have this in here.
Oh, that's absolutely what happened. There is a little bit of Disney meddling in this movie. But here's the thing, is that they had a main character in this movie. I haven't seen Marvel ever do this. They had a main character in this movie die. I'm not going to say who for anybody who hasn't seen it, but they had a main character in this movie die. Hey, Marvel, bless you for having the balls to let James Gunn do this, because
I mean, we'll see.
To start killing people.
They're probably going to come back though. Like that's the thing. It's like, even if it's like the prequel talks they have here, they're going to bring this character back. Is
that real?
They're talks of making a Ravager movie with Sylvester Stallone and shit. But like, here's the thing. Next one doesn't come out till 2020. Sylvester Stallone's 75. You gonna have an 80-year-old Sylvester Stallone in this Ravager movie? Doesn't make any fucking sense to me.
Yep. That's a good point. I don't want to see that. And it's supposed to be a prequel.
Most of this shit's like wild to me that they're even talking about films that are gonna happen in 2025. It's like, yo, Avatar's not gonna happen. Like, he's not making those movies.
Yeah.
Like they're like still trying to figure out who's going to be on the cast.
It's like, hey, this movie's been in pre-production for a decade. Like that actually might be
half like these superhero movies. They're like, yeah, we've got big plans for the future of the Marvel franchise. It's like, okay, but these ones aren't done till 2022. So what the fuck do you have for the future?
Like I feel like Kevin Feige was asked to do like 1 year.
How many more movies can like Ron Perlman and all these old fuckers? Like, you can't franchise these old guys. Like, it has to all be young kids.
I feel like they told
Sylvester Stallone can be in 10 more Marvel movies. He's 80.
Here's what happened in 2015. They're like, all right, Kevin. They turned to Kevin Feige and they're like, all right, Kevin, we need you to just sort of like do like a general map out of the next couple of years of movies. And Kevin Feige was like, okay, I'm gonna do coke before I do that. He got so coked up and fucked up that he accidentally did a decade and a half worth of work in a night. That's what happened, I think.
Yeah, I don't understand how you can keep these people employed. Like, you got to switch it up. You can't, like, how many more movies is Robert Downey Jr. really going to do? Infinity, apparently.
I don't see how he could do any more. First of all, he don't want to do it anymore.
Remember when he's like, okay, I'm good after 5, and then after 7, he's like, okay, only one more. Now he's in like 10 fucking movies, and he's like, I guess I'll just keep doing them now. Oh, the point, right? The judge bombed.
They must, like, here's the thing, is that they must increase the price with every movie. They have to, like, which is weird, because I think
because he's in them less.
I think in like the second Avengers movie they gave him $50 million, and so like they have to have given him more to do like
I bet he got Civil War. I bet he got a lot more for Spider-Man, where he has about 11 minutes of screen time. I bet he made like $60 million for that shit.
I bet you Robert Downey Jr. and his 11 minutes of screen time made more money than most of the cast combined. In fact, maybe 100%.
All. Yeah, definitely.
Because there's no way they're giving Tom Holland $60 million.
No, they're giving him like $100,000. Like, it was like, it's like the same thing as like all those Marvel movies, or I mean, all the DC movies where like the the Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot's getting like $250,000. That's what she's getting, $250,000.
I bet you Ben Affleck made more money on Wonder Woman than Gal Gadot.
Absolutely, he did. That was shown.
Yeah. Yeah. Back to Guardians of the Galaxy. There's something that we haven't even talked about yet. Let's talk Kurt Russell.
Oh, big man, greatest man of all time.
Fuck, he's so good. He's so good at acting. Like,
yeah, he's damn. Like because like for the longest time, like he nulls you into like maybe he is just a cool guy who's a planet.
Yeah, cool planet man
who loves his planet, who wants to reconnect with his son, and then it's like, fuck no, he's the greatest villain ever.
Well, like when I was a kid, I remember reading I was big into the Guardians comics, and when I heard that his dad was coming into this movie, I'm like, oh, if they make him a good guy, I'm gonna be pissed. Because like in the comics, his dad was a cunt. Like he was a complete cunt. They took his cuntiness to the next level. Something I couldn't even imagine, dude. And it's awesome. I've heard people complaining about the fact that the bad guy is an evil planet. And I'm like,
I'm sorry. Did you not see the Cavern of Skulls? The dopest shit. And they're his sons. The dopest shit I've ever heard.
And it's like like
are we in medieval China? Are we in feudal China? Because I see a beautiful planet. No, it's baby skulls, bitch. Fuck.
And the bad guy, like the idea of the bad guy being an evil, fucking evil planet, man. That's the best thing ever.
No, James Gunn was just destroyed on a pot brownie, and he's like, okay, yeah, we got the bad guy. He's an evil planet. I'm on board with that, but can we have a giant stack of baby skulls? And they're like, yes, we can, James Gunn. Why not?
You know what, James? We can work that in. Lloyd Kaufman's there. He's throwing out ideas.
Yeah, Lloyd Kaufman's definitely there, right? Like he's never credited on anything, but he's definitely there.
He's got to show up because like there's no way you came up with Cavern Full of Baby Skulls without Lloyd Kaufman's input. There's just no way.
I have a theory that Yondu was written for Lloyd Kaufman, but he's just not a good enough actor.
Or he's not famous enough. That's actually not a terrible thought. That actually kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
I also I love Sean Gunn too. I wish he was in this more.
Oh, Sean Gunn's apparently they want to do a spin-off with Sean Gunn as like the leader of their Avengers.
See, like as the Ravager like spin-off, you had me completely off board, and in one sentence you got me 100% fucking in, and now I'm mad if they don't do it.
Sean Gunn should be more famous, right? Like he should be more famous.
Yeah, why is it? Because for a while, him and James Gunn were sort of on their separate paths. James Gunn was like, I'm gonna make weird movies about like foam monsters, and then fucking Sean Gunn, his brother, is like, I'm gonna be a regular on Gilmore Girls. And then at some point they came together, and now they make beautiful music together.
Oh, are you Van Helsing? What the fuck is this?
Oh man, there's a lot of really funny bits in this movie too. Like there is like that bit where Rocket and Yondu are in prison and they're trying to get the Mohawk fin, and they're trying to get Groot to find it for him. That's funny stuff. That's really funny stuff.
Maybe a little long, but it's funny. It is. Yeah, it is James Gunn testing the water to see what he can get away with. He's like, how many? I bet there's like 6 hours of Groot fucking up, and James Gunn's like, let's see how much they'll let us get away with. And it's like 15 minutes. That seems like a lot, but okay.
They're like, we spent days and like millions of dollars getting this 6 hour montage. So you gotta let us use at least a lot of it. Oh man, I like this movie a lot though. Like I was actually really surprised. I think that the cast works really well. Like I said, I'm not sure that Chris Pratt was really giving it his all here, and I don't know why, because this is sort of I guess like he'll probably put more stock into Jurassic Park from now on, because like this sort of feels like Chris Pratt's baby, doesn't it? Like it's sort of his money baby.
I feel like it must be, right?
But now he's got nothing since Anna Faris left him.
Yeah, that's true.
Man, that really sucks for Chris Pratt.
Where's he gonna find another? nice Christian girl in Hollywood. Seems like a long shot.
Well, yeah. I don't know though. I don't know if Anna Faris was as into Jesus, because I don't know if there's many people who are as into Jesus as Chris Pratt.
I think that's probably why they broke up, because Chris Pratt's walking around the house with no shirt and being like, God has been great to me. God has been very good to me. And Anna Faris is like, can you just settle down with the God talk for a while? And he's like, how dare you?
Yeah, maybe he kicked her out. I don't know. I mean, it seems unlikely because Anna Faris is like a much better looking human being, but like,
yeah.
Just maybe he kicked her out because she just wasn't into Jesus enough. And that would kind of make sense, You got to do it. It's like when it's like when Sacha Baron Cohen tried to break up with Isla Fisher because she wasn't Jewy enough, and it's like, okay, all right, Sacha Baron Cohen, when you ever gonna get the opportunity to bang Isla Fisher again? All right, so maybe just take what you can get, you son of a bitch.
Fucking Sacha Baron Cohen.
And then she was like, "I'll be Jewy for you," and then she did. And I don't mean to offend with the term Jewy, but
again,
yeah, no.
James Gunn knocking out of the park with his soundtrack.
I don't know if it was as strong in this one, but it is still very good.
I mean, it's all fine. It's all fucking hits, and that's what I don't like about James Gunn is he thinks that just putting the hits makes it a nostalgia thing. No,
but for a lot of people it does. I don't know if that technically means that it's good content, but for a lot of people it does mean nostalgia. And like a lot of people, like I know a lot of people who are like in their 30s will go to this movie and be like, I remember when More Than a Feeling was good, like I remember the ye old days,
Sure.
I also like that my young privileged ass just imitated a 30-year-old as if they were 90. Had them say ye old because I'm a saucy cunt.
Very funny.
Very funny. So John Carpenter. Let's talk about The Thing.
You talking about the greatest man to ever live?
Yeah, John Carpenter. John Carpenter has, of course, pioneered some of the best movies from the 80s and 90s to ever really exist. The Thing. Escape from New York, Halloween. Yeah, I'm missing something. I'm missing some other big stuff, but I don't. Oh, Big Trouble in Little China. Some really just standout work. And today we're talking about The Thing. Let's talk about The Thing. So The Thing, I don't even know where to start on this movie because it's first of all it's incredible. It's an easy.
It's one of my favorites of all time. It's so good. Like, and I just got the Shout Factory Collector's Edition, which is like a real nice fucking restoration. Fucking real dope.
Wow, that looks. Is that baby? That's on baby blue.
Sure is. It's only 2K, but that's about as good as you can do from old film usually. So.
2K is actually not bad. Like I watched it in 1080 and it looked pretty good.
Yeah.
So watch it in 2K. That's probably thrice as good. So I want to know.
Maybe the one movie where H.R. Geiger was like, I don't. Yuck.
I don't know. Like H.R. Geiger walked into the theater. He started watching the movie, and halfway through a movie, H.R. Geiger said, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
What's going on here?"
So
These visions scare me, John Carpenter. The visions in your mind scare me.
That actually brings me to my first point of this movie. What the fuck is wrong with you, John Carpenter? Why the fuck? I'm glad you made this, but why did you do it? Like, where do you get those images? Like, where's your vision? It's the most grotesque film ever made. H.R. Geiger and like Cronenberg would watch this movie together and vomit on each other.
Cronenberg was like, yeah, this is...
Cronenberg was probably hard as fuck watching this movie.
Yeah, I bet
the
Cronenberg
first time he
loves
saw
it.
it. Yeah, of course, everybody loves it.
I don't know Cronenberg the man, but I know he's fucked up. Not quite as fucked up as John Carpenter, apparently.
I think The Thing is probably the number one most grotesque film that has ever been made. It is
probably best body horror movie, I'd say. I think we went over this when we talked about body horror, but
yeah. Well, I think it was my number 2 and your number 1 when we talked about body horror movies, and it's fucking just it's disgusting, dude. Like I don't know how to even put it into words. There's like a part where Wilford Brimley turns into a fat Jew monster with like a giant snake neck that's like got a fucking beet red tongue, and he's pulling himself around on the tongue, and like it snaps on his neck, and like fucking skin is melting, and it's like, Wilford Brimley, what's happening to you?
This is I really like this movie because it eases into that shit. Like at first, like you're watching this and it's just like it's sort of like a whodunit, like a 1940s whodunit mystery, and they're like, oh, they're shooting at this dog. Why are they shooting at a dog? It's so weird. I was watching this earlier and my dad walked in and he's like, what are you watching? And I'm like, oh, it's a thing. He's like, oh, I've never seen this, and he's just stood there for like 40 minutes transfixed because it's just so tight, and like it is a slow burn, but it's just like once it starts rolling, it's like, oh, what the fuck, how did this turn from such a small little Antarctic trip into just one of the greatest creature features of all time?
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Like, because once it starts going, it's all like it's like a steep slope from there, and it's just rolling downhill because it's going.
I do think it's really interesting how you learn with the characters, because that's always my favorite trope. What's happening, and there's a couple great moments, like especially in the blood when they're testing the blood to see who's a monster.
I'm gonna show you what I already know. I love the old white guy who just likes to yell stuff, like the old white guy. Was that Peter Maloney? Is that Peter Maloney? I know Peter Maloney's in this, but I don't know if he's the old white guy. But there's like the one guy who like he's testing the blood and he's like, it's a crock, I say. Get me out of this fucking chair. Like it's just so wild. And then like what I really like about this character is this movie seems tropey at first. Like it does seem tropey, like horror tropey, but like because in horror movies like this, people will start to get picked off by the monster, but that's not really the way this movie works. It feels like it's going to be tropey, but then instead of being picked off by the monster, you just have to decipher which of them is the monster, which is an insane route. That's such an insane route.
They kill a bunch of people that weren't even monsters in this.
Yeah. There's like the one line where
it's never in any fucking horror movie where like someone kills another one of the survivors. Not that I can think.
Just for the sake of like being 100% sure that the monster is like not in him. There's like the part where they're testing the blood and he's like, all right, so this guy was clean. And the guy's like, oh, that makes you a murderer. And then they breeze past it. They don't even, the guy says that makes you a murderer. And Kurt Russell doesn't give a fuck. He just moves on to the next person. It's insane.
Yeah.
This movie also has like a Tarantino ending, which I love, dude. I love the ending to this movie because like in horror movies now, like even in like Alien and things like that, even from the 80s and like Halloween and like Nightmare on Elm Street, there's a final girl. There's always a final girl who makes it through and gets out. And this one, no such luck, no such luck. They all fucking die because
another thing I like, John Carpenter breaking walls down. A couple of black lads make it till the end there.
Yeah. A black lad and him and Kurt Russell have a beer. They share a brew and freeze to death because that's wild. That's of course that's what you're gonna do.
I do like that ending too because it also leaves the mystery of what if one of those people is a monster.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there is still two of them. One of them could be the monster, and you'll never know.
Won't die and froze.
And you know what? I'm also really glad this movie never really got franchised. I mean, they did the prequel, which we'll be watching next week in 2011, but like they never continued it. So like we'll never know.
That's why it's so good. Don't fucking ruin movies. Stop ruining Tim Burton. Keep your eyes off of this shit, Tim Burton. Don't you fucking try to ruin this shit. I see you. I see your grubby hands looking at it.
Here's the thing: is that Tim Burton looks at his own movies and he thinks that it's grosser than The Thing.
Wow.
But it is not. I bet you Tim Burton thinks that Sweeney Todd is the grossest film of all time.
Yeah, I don't think I like he's only seen his own films and then the films he's stolen from, right? Like
yeah. He's seen movies that he's stolen and his own work, which is weird because his best friend Johnny Depp won't watch Tim Burton movies, which is hilarious.
Well, no one should.
Johnny Depp has never seen a Tim Burton movie, which is the fucking most hilarious thing I've ever heard in my life.
Really? There's no Tim Burton movies that don't have Johnny Depp in them? Because he only doesn't watch movies he's not in.
I know that he doesn't watch movies that he's not in, but here's my guess is that
he probably doesn't watch movies, right?
Probably, yeah, he probably doesn't watch movies.
He's out in France just fucking drinking tea and shit.
Yeah, he's beating the shit out of people. Like,
yeah, beating the shit out of his wife.
Yeah,
throwing his wife againit's the wall. They don't have time to watch a film.
Yeah, they have to visit the ER like pretty frequently.
It's very interesting. If I ever meet Johnny Depp, I'm gonna be like, "Have you ever seen any film? Like, not just the films you're in, but have you ever seen a film?" I bet he'll say no.
It's just too bad because, like, I don't like Johnny Depp as a person, and like, I understand not wanting to watch the movies that he's in, but like, also he's been in some good movies, you know. So, Johnny, you're missing out on Ninth Gate, bro.
Oh, Johnny, how have you never seen Ninth Gate? Like, if there's one out of your filmography that you got to see, probably Ninth Gate.
Yeah, no kidding. So shall we move on to our last film of the day?
Oh wait, no, our top 5 yet, lad.
Right, we haven't done. I'm jumping the gun, dude. I'm jumping the gun. So let's talk about our top 5 favorite movies with Kurt Russell. Why don't you bring us in? What's your number 5?
My number 5, I'm gonna go with Quentin Tarantino.
Hateful Eight.
Apparently that crashes Chadley's internet, so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, don't talk about Quentin Tarantino. It fucks my internet right up.
Apparently that fucking crashes your internet. I don't know if you've seen Death Proof recently, but it holds up pretty hard. It's a lot of fun.
Is that the one with the car or the one with the gun leg?
That's the one with the car, Chadley.
Okay. I know that they sort of go hand in hand, but I always forget which one is which. Planet Terror is the one with the gun leg, right?
Yeah, well, that's not Tarantino. That's Robert Rodriguez, and that's garbage. But Death Proof is great because it's Kurt Russell throwing women through his fucking windshield just to calm.
You know what? I think I saw Death Proof once, and it was on the double feature with Planet Terror. And I think Death Proof played first, so it's possible that I just have a bad taste for it because Planet Terror is so fucking bad.
I'd say watch Death Proof by itself, and you'll have it's probably the most underrated Tarantino movie. It's as good as the rest of his movies. It's just no one watches it. No one's ever watched it.
The thing about Death Proof is that like the problem with the double feature, because they played back to back, no intermission or nothing.
No, there's like those fake commercials. That's where Machete came from.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna leave during that, like, because you want to see the fake commercials. They're fun.
Oh, okay, sure.
And so when you're watching that back to back, when you've been in a theater for 5 hours and you're watching,
it's like 3 hours. They're like 90 minutes each.
Are they? I thought they were each 2.5. I thought they were each $2 and $1. No. Okay. Well, I mean, if you've been sitting in a theater for even 3.5 hours and you're watching Planet Terror, like, that is
the Kill Bill both volumes. That's like 5.5 hours.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, but the Kill Bill both volumes is pretty good as one movie.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, needs an intermission though, for sure. Needs it. Does that one have an intermission? Because I know
I've never actually seen The Bloody Affair in theaters. They played it a couple weeks ago up in Calgary. I was going to come and watch it, but didn't have time.
You shoulda. You shoulda.
Maybe they'll play it again.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll go to the Quentin Tarantino double feat though with Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction though.
I think that happened last weekend, bud.
No, I think it's in September, is it not?
I don't know.
I thought it was next month.
Doesn't matter.
Thought it was next month. Apparently, I don't know shit.
What's your number there, bud?
My number 5 is a movie we talked about today. I just love Ego the Planet Man, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Really great fucking movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah, really enjoyed this one a lot.
Kurt Russell just fucks so hard, man.
Yeah. And like, here's the thing is that like you watch him in The Thing and you watch him in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and it's like, man, it's been almost like 35 years and he doesn't look a lick older. He doesn't look a
little chubbier, but he's still in good condition as a.
Yeah, he looks like he's just dyeing his beard gray. Like it looks like dye. Dude. He looks the same.
Thing beard is like the beard I'm striving for. Is Kurt Russell thing beard.
You just got it like pinned up on your wall.
Yeah.
And you're like, every morning.
He's got a lot of rounding. He's rounded it.
Yeah, dude. Like it's sort of like the Leonidas beard, but it looks like not fucking weird and waxy.
It doesn't look fake. Zack Snyder makes fake looking movies. My number 4, I'm gonna go with Furious 7.
Oh shit, dude, it's official.
Furious 7 so much.
Shit, dude, it's official, dude. Furious 7 is the number 4th best
beers and shit.
Oh, dude, because Kurt Russell is like the product placement.
Yo, it's the finest character in any film. It's like we just have this guy in here to talk about fucking beers and shit.
He's like, try this locally brewed beer, or try some Coronas. It's like, are we doing this right now? That's insane. That's absolutely insane.
Today's episode is sponsored by Wild Rose Brewery, and then we're drinking the Cowbell today. So,
ooh, how's that? Has it got a little bit of a tang to it?
It's a little sour. Yeah, it's real nice though. It's got that lime in the background, and you're like, ooh,
a lot of lime. Good lime. I love whenever we talk about Furious. Whenever we talk about Furious 7, we inevitably just start talking about beer.
Absolutely.
Because I think that's what that movie's about. I'm pretty sure. What is your number 3?
My number 3. We're gonna take it all the way back to one of the earlier John Carpenters. Well, mid John Carpenter. I'm gonna go with Escape from New York.
Ooh, Escape from New York is good, dude. It's
so fucking good. Snake Plissken.
It's mostly Kurt Russell running around in a tank top in post-apocalyptic New York.
Yeah, with an eye patch. Nothing wrong with that though.
Oh yeah, Snake Plissken is a fucking dope character, dude. He's a dope.
Oh yeah, fakest name ever created, but also dope.
Here's the thing: the fact that I am absolutely blown away that I did not come up with the name Snake Plissken. That sounds like some shit that I would make my Twitter handle or something.
Yeah. Fucking Kojima liked that so much he just decided to steal it. So
yeah, straight up too. Like straight up. Like it's insane. It's insane. He stole it.
Like, and he stole the eye patch too. Like that's his aesthetic.
In the second Metal Gear Solid game, it's not just Snake. It's Snake Plissken in the second one.
Name.
You can't just take that. What are you, insane? My number.
And John Carpenter's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What's a video game? Who are the Japanese? I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Did John Carpenter ever try to sue over that? Or no, it wasn't it like, because like on the cover of the original Metal Gear, it's basically just a still of John Connor from Terminator or some shit like that. And because obviously Hideo Kojima loves movies enough to steal.
He's a big film fan, and he's even more open about it now that he's a big film fan and has taken all of his great ideas from film. Which, well, yeah, he's a businessman. Let him do what he does.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? If like, because I like both film and video games, and if there's somebody who's trying to make video games that are like films, I'm interested in that. My number 3. We're going back to old Tarantino, buddy. Old Tarantino. I'm going hard on the old Kurt Russell stuff today. Sure. Him getting hella old. And my number 3 is going to be Hateful Eight.
Oh, that's going to be my number 2.
A lot of fun. Ooh, shit. It's going to be your number 2. Hateful Eight's really good. And Kurt Russell is like the best thing. Okay, when you're Kurt Russell and you're the best part of a movie, that's fine. But when you're Kurt Russell and you're the best part of a movie that also features like fucking Samuel L. Jackson and Tim Roth, who is Christoph Waltz. I think
lest we forget.
Channing Tatum fucking killing it. Walter Goggins, like clearly.
Walter Goggins is great and is in no movies for some reason.
And the girl, I always forget her name. Something. So the girl from that movie who is also really fucking awesome. If you can stand above all those people when you haven't been in film in 20 years, I'm impressed. You can tickle me impressed, dude. Yeah. Hateful Eight is fucking awesome. Hateful Eight is fucking incredible.
Number 2?
My number 2, we already talked about it. Escape from New York, running around in tight green pants and a tank top. Love it, dude.
Well, I think that makes it official.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be official, the number 1 best Kurt Russell movie.
That's the thing, baby.
It's the thing. Of course it's the fucking thing, dude.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It basically, this and an Alien invented the fucking claustrophobic genre. It's so beautiful.
Oh, dude, and I love it. I love it. Because, like, you think, because it almost feels like at first like it's going to be an Alien sort of knockoff, and then it's totally something different. It's totally something different.
I do like them both, and I think they're very different, but I also think they're fairly similar, and I just think they're just a great double feature. They are different, but they're both very good.
We should find a theater that's doing the double feature on that in 35 mil, because that would be.
I'd fucking cream my fucking pants. I'd fucking blow a nut.
I don't even know if I could make it through the first film.
All right. I got her email I want to read before we get into this last film here.
Oh, somebody sent us an email?
Yeah, you can send us an email at punchnerds@gmail.com. This one comes from someone named Chad, and he specifically states right here at the beginning, "Hi guys, it's Chad, not Chadley."
Fuck you. But go on.
And he says, "Love the show. I find it a little hard sometimes to judge what you guys think of the movie, because we do kind of sway between opinions occasionally." And he says that we should introduce some sort of rating scale. And he says, "Might I suggest the Chadsky scale?" So on the Chadsky scale, Chad, what do you rate the previous two movies we've talked to? I don't know if you want to hash the Chadsky scale a little bit before we get into this, but
yeah, I don't know what that is. So what is it exactly?
It's just an arbitrary rating system so that we can rate the films after we talk about them, so that we can make it a little clearer what we think of these films.
Okay, well, all right. Well, here's the thing is that Buckley Duke and I both are on letterboxd.com. You can check that out as well. Letterboxd.com is a fantastic website where you can track your movies and you get to put ratings. So I think what we should do from now on is just at the end of a review, just say what we gave it on Letterboxd, on letterboxd.com out of 5.
Okay, out of 5 stars on the Chadsky scale, what do you think of Guardians of the Galaxy?
So I gave Guardians of the Galaxy a 4.5 out of 5. Really, really good movie. Are we doing halves? Are we doing halves or not?
I'd say you can do halves, I guess.
Okay. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's nearly perfect, but it's just those few little things like the Gamora plot line, Chris Pratt not really giving it all, the opening CG not being quite there. So 4.5 out of 5 is what I give that one. The Thing, I think it's obvious. I give that a fucking full on 5 star.
Sure. So for the Guardians of the Galaxy, I gave that one a 4. I don't like it as much as the first one, which I think is an easy 5.
Easy.
I like a lot of what was going on in Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think it's as fleshed out as the first one, so that's a 4 for me. And The Thing is probably one of the easiest 5 stars I've ever given. So I'm going to give that one a 5 on the Chadsky scale. And thanks for your email, Chad. If you want to send your email, send an email to punchnerds@gmail.com or tweet me at lastcooldude.
And just like that, we changed the format of the show just because somebody asked us to, because we're corporate stooges.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We don't get emails very often, so I figured I'd read that one. Thank you, Chad.
God bless you, Chad. Thank you for listening. You know what? You're my best friend now. I'm going to get your email off Buckley Duke, and then I'm going to incessantly send you 4 emails a day.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you're going to hate it. So for our next movie, let's talk about Snatched. So this is new Amy Schumer.
Uh-huh.
Woo! So Katie Dippold wrote this movie. I don't remember who directed it, but Katie Dippold, famous. She's a Parks and Recreation veteran writer. She wrote 34 episodes of Parks and Recreation, which, as many of you know, is one of my favorite shows. Very, very funny. But then she went on to write The Heat and Ghostbusters, and I think right there is proof that even the great can fall, because those movies are really bad.
Television ratings a lot different, though.
Yeah, it's true. You can write a lot, like a lot of jokes in a short period of time. You know,
Snatched was directed by Jonathan Levine of 50/50 fame, and The Night Before,
which is a great movie. I love 50/50.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, not so much. You know, like this one is it's quite bad. Snatched, unfortunately, and here's why it's bad. Because Katie Dippold, this movie should have been written by I think nobody can write for Amy Schumer except for Amy Schumer, because anybody
Amy Schumer has a writing credit on it.
Does she? I thought she did not. I thought it was just Katie Dippold. Oh, okay. Well, here's the
writing credits on the film. So You're putting a lot on this one lass.
I thought I looked into it. Is that like screenplay? Because I know in written by, there's only the one credit for Katie Dippold, but in screenplay is Amy Schumer credited? Is that
Amy Schumer, Kim Carmel, and Katie Dippold.
Okay. Well, this one last, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to put it all in Katie Dippold. She is a funny writer, and there is DNA of the fact that she's a funny writer in this movie. There are some jokes in this movie that are funny. There are some really strong jokes in this movie.
Sure.
I really like the cat sculpture joke. That's pretty funny. The dog rape whistle joke. Okay, not the greatest joke, but it's okay. I chuckled.
There's one part that I laughed like so fucking hard at, and like I don't know who to credit this one to, but there's when Ike Braunholtz is on the phone and he's like, "What is your name?" James. What's your last name? Black. It's like, did you just come up black because you're trying to pretend to be a black person? Fucking hilarious.
A lot of the Ike Braunholtz stuff is actually really funny in this movie. Like, probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
I hate that he's wasted on all these fucking mid-tier 2000s comedies because the dude's fucking hilarious and he looks wild. He's a wild looking man.
He's a weird looking dude. But like one of my favorite parts of the entire movie is when he's like on the phone with the State Department guy, and he opens up the State Department guy's Facebook, and it's like, I wonder what your wife Joanne would think of this. He's like, what the fuck did you just say? Like that is really funny.
Really fucking funny.
Unfortunately, though, for every good joke, there's about 10 not good ones. Mm-hmm. For instance, there's a scene where Amy Schumer uses paper towel to wash the sludge out of her vagina.
Funny in concept because Amy Schumer is fucking gross. But
here's the thing. This is something that I thought of when I was watching this movie. And this is honestly how I feel, and this is going to sound kind of mean, and it's going to be mean. Like, it is going to be mean. I think Amy Schumer, in like all these movies that she's been in where it's just like sort of gross, crass humor, I think Amy Schumer is the problem because she doesn't come across as funny or witty or laid back. She comes across as desperate at all times. Now, bear with me for a moment because I think any movie with Amy Schumer, you swap out Amy Schumer, throw in Chelsea Peretti, and I bet you it would be funny. I bet you it would be funny if you put Chelsea Peretti in there.
Underrated, man.
Yeah, dude, I love Chelsea Peretti. And I honestly think like this type of humor, I think Chelsea Peretti could get away with it. But with Amy Schumer, it's just like, every time she mentions her pussy, it's like, okay, Amy, I don't want to hear this anymore. It's not funny when you say it because, like, every time here's what it is. Every time Amy Schumer talks about her pussy, I feel like she wants to show it to me, and I don't want her to. Like, that's what it feels like. It's like every time she mentions her pussy, she say, like, I feel like she's gonna be like, "You want to see it?" I'm like, "No, please, Amy, don't. I'm not interested in that." Yeah, there's. Because like the first 20 minutes of this movie, it's like, okay, it's not funny, but at least it's not gross. And then she washes her pussy, and you're like, okay, there. Yeah, Randall Parks is there, and not even he could make jokes in this. Well, I mean, there was
not even calling a joke.
Yeah, he's not. There's just like he tried to do the hand joke where he was throwing his hands around, but that wasn't funny. I thought it was John Cho at first, and I was like, "Who's John Cho?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, no, that's Randall fucking Parks. That's insane."
Powerful, yeah. Randall.
You know, like that one girl that you know in your life, and she like just really wants everybody to like her, so she just says everything really loudly. That's like Amy Schumer. That's how I feel about Amy Schumer. And like, especially recently, right? Like after the leather special, it's sort of all been downhill for Amy Schumer because there was a
special.
Yeah, there was a time when Amy Schumer was very funny. Like there was a time. But the problem is she never really changed her sense of humor, and now it's just like it just feels old. You know, like it's like Adam Sandler, right? Like, okay, yeah, you're telling the same jokes from Happy Gilmore for some reason, but
then you watch like at Sandy Wexler or whatever, and you're like, I might still have it though. Like he just is not trying. Like whereas you see Amy Schumer, you're like, oh, she doesn't have it. Whereas like I watch Adam Sandler's, even like his last couple new movies, I'm like, I think he's still got it. He's just not trying.
Whereas Amy Schumer is trying really hard, and I feel bad because she's really out there giving it her all, but she's just not that funny, you know, like she just isn't that funny. And it pains me because I would like to say that Amy Schumer is funny. However, I think Goldie Hawn is funny. Pretty funny. Yeah, I don't know why she's in this movie, but I do think Goldie Hawn is funny, and she has moments in this movie where she says very funny things. And here's why. Here's the main difference, okay? I don't know what went through Amy Schumer's mind that she was like, oh, yeah, I think I'm going to act next to Goldie Hawn and be able to be on her level, because that's clearly incorrect, because Amy Schumer has no acting. Well, no, not no acting ability, but
it's even those two Hawaiian guys that were pulling the tapeworm out of her. Those guys were like incredibly good actors compared to her.
I did kind of like that bit where he's teaching the guy English and he would just go hello and just like do the finger guns. That's, you know, that like I said, there is DNA that this writer is funny and that this movie could have been funny. That tapeworm scene, on the other hand, is probably the most unwatchable part of this movie because, first of all, it doesn't contribute to the movie.
Well, what's the point, right?
At all. Yeah, I don't understand the point. It's just like they're waving.
I think they just found those two guys and they thought they were funny, so they're like, we need to have a scene with these guys.
Yeah, like that. That's honestly, it must be it. Like, and they're like, oh, hold on. Earlier in the script, we had a part where she said she was really hungry. Should we, I don't know, give her a tapeworm or something? They can pull it out of her mouth, which by the way is not how tapeworms work, but God bless you for trying.
Sure. Let's put a terribly CG tapeworm in here. Why not?
Yeah, I'm sad that Wanda Sykes and Joan Cusack were in this, but at least Joan Cusack didn't talk. So
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Wanda Sykes, however, Wanda Sykes on the other hand, yeah, she talks too much for sure, way too much. I don't like it, dude.
Wanda Sykes, hilarious.
Oh, I can't, you know, and I don't know if I could do another B comedy like this for a while because like I feel like we've done a lot of these, and
coming up.
Yeah, well, Baywatch that's an A comedy. That's an A-list comedy because that's gonna be a solid 10, dude. Because the Rock has like, you know how Amy Schumer's not funny? The Rock is extremely funny, so that's the difference.
Yeah, put the Rock and Dave Bautista in a buddy cop comedy. How good would that be?
Oh! You just blew my fucking mind, dude. I'm so excited to see Bautista in Blade Runner, dude. Bautista in Blade.
Yo. Batista's my new favorite actor, maybe. I've just decided that in the last couple of years when he played fucking Jaws and Drax and whatever else he's got cooking.
Yeah, dude, I'm Jones, dude. I'm Jones to see more Bautista. I'm really excited about it.
Don't you go back don't you go back to wrestling, Bautista. Stay in acting. You're better than that.
Yeah, Snatched would have been better if we took out Amy Schumer and put in Dave Bautista.
Yo, let's get John Cena in the mix too. Let's have all these big lads. Let's have a big lads film.
Yeah, Dave Bautista plays the Amy Schumer character, and John Cena plays the guy that seduces her.
Yeah.
There it is. That's perfect. And you know what? That's a perfect joke right there.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we can get much better than that. What are we doing next week there, Chadley?
Next week is going to be the 20th anniversary. Nope, not that. Third anniversary of our podcast. So we're going to be celebrating a few different ways. We're going to be talking about the lost city of Z, which I desperately tried to get out of watching, but Buckley Duke will not allow it.
I don't even think like we're going to have any interesting content out of it, but I'm so concerned that you're trying to get out of it. I'm going to make you watch it now.
Yeah, it's like it's the gag now, right? The gag is to get me to try and watch it. And we're also going to be talking about
Dunkirk. Home. Dunkirk. You can see it from here. Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, dude. I'm excited to talk about this.
You're going to get 45 minutes of that next week.
But don't worry, because Buck LeDuc is saving his Irish accent for that time. Dunkirk. We're also going to be doing something wild. We're going to be doing something wild next week. We're watching The Thing prequel that came out in 2011. I haven't seen it in a while. I remember hating it, but maybe I'll come around on it this time. I don't know. Sometimes, because I avidly hated Spider-Man 3 until I watched it like 6 months ago, and then I was like, oh, shit, that's a great
movie ever made.
Shit, better make Buck LeDuc watch this because I think might be.
I was telling my buddy about how I got the Thing collector's edition, and he's like, "Oh, do you mean the first remake?" I'm like, "Okay, first of all, if I was talking about the original Thing, I would call it the Thing from Outer Space, or the Thing from Another Planet, is what is the original title." And if I was talking about the Thing 2011, I would call it the Thing 2011 because that's the title. No, I'm talking about the Thing, the 1982, the Thing. That's what it's called. It's called the Thing.
Is there a movie that came before the Thing?
Yeah, there's one
that was a different one
called The Thing from Another Planet, which is what this is loosely based on.
Oh shit, we should have watched that.
Somebody famous is in it, like Marlon Brando or something.
Marlon Brando in 54? Wild. Yeah, maybe it's Orson Welles. Maybe he did that before he, kicked it. But yeah, we're also doing something wild next week. We're going to be doing a 10 movie draft. Okay. You guys following me? Cause I'm going to explain this and it's going to sound like the most insane thing ever. To celebrate the 3-year anniversary of the podcast, we're going to be doing a 10 movie draft where we are going to be picking movies that we have reviewed on this show. That's insane. Yeah. And we're not going to be doing any of the classics that we did. Cause otherwise it would just be like 10 and 10 James Bond films. So we're going to be doing all of the newer movies. Like for instance, this week we could only pick from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Snatched, which obviously I'm going to take Snatched. So you better watch out for that. But we are
so the Thing from Another World, was written by Howard Hawks, which is a famous person. And, they go to Alaska and they find this sort of alien creature.
Like even his name sounds rich, like Howard Hawks. Like I already feel like I want to give him money for something. I don't even know what.
You ever seen any Howard Hawks films?
No, I probably have, but what's his body of work?
I feel like he did a bunch of noir movies, like The Big Sleep and some other ones. I'd have to look up his screenplay, but he's pretty specific.
I think I've seen The Big Sleep, but I feel like it was a long time ago. Maybe I haven't seen it. I don't know. Maybe we should watch it on the show. I don't know.
We should do a noir November, maybe. Hey, watch
Noir-vember. I like that. I kind of like that. Watch some fucking. Although we're probably still gonna be reeling off Spoopy-tober.
Well, we should figure it out, Chad.
Oh shit. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure that you tune in next week. It's gonna be a big one. I gotta go on vacation. I'm gonna get really drunk, and then I'm going to do some really dumb shit, and then I'm going to tell you all about it on the pod.
Oh, bless you. Bless your heart.
Because what's the point in shaming myself if the whole world doesn't get to know?
Absolutely. Follow me on Twitter @LastCoolDude.
Follow me on Twitter @ChetleyTheMovie.
That's the show. See you guys